what used to be a Sonic in Philadelphia. Sonic is a fast food chain, and this is how you know the fast food chain isn't good. They were known for their drinks, not their food. I don't care what you say. Sonic, I remember they would advertise Sonic on sporting events. A lot of NASCAR, like 2008. And we didn't have Sonics in Philadelphia. And I went to Florida. And I went to a Sonic. I went to spring training baseball in Clearwater. And we saw a Sonic. And I made my friends pull over. And I said to the lady, they had drive-through service. You could do drive-through, but they also did roller skate service. If you wanted to get food, they would come out on roller skates. You see this? Now we all know the story. Listen, we're in sketchy parts of Philadelphia right now, and whenever you see an adult above the age of 18 with a BMX bike, that person's a no good Nick. That means they are up to no good. And just so you know, going away very soon, the No Good Nick t-shirt. We will be taking it down from the store. But I mean, it's just, some stereotypes just happen to be true. A grown man with a BMX bike, never up to any good. Unless there's a kid. Now, if there's a kid by, maybe they're teaching the kid how to ride a bike. But nope. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going for a little walk, and we're actually going down what I used to consider to be the worst street in Philadelphia. Hold on, okay, hold on, we gotta wait a second. They got music playing. All right. And it was a bad street. This asshole. So this street was bad. Like, there's up on these railroads, there's a homeless community that lives there. Yeah, I'm gonna go. We're gonna go. But the street itself was in really, really bad condition. Really bad potholes. And, but they just recently paved it. Oh, I never noticed this art before. It's really good. Never played that game. It's one of my favorite games. Called Jet Set Radio. I think I played it on the Dreamcast. Absolutely loved it. Man, that's really good. Actually, these are all really good. Holy God. Shout out to whoever this is, right? You know what sucks? Is in the next 24 hours or 48, some jerk off's going to come by and tag over it. Trying to see if I can read this. I'm very bad at reading this. That's a Z J K ZJK. Is that what that's? I don't know. So. Ooh, hashtag. What the hell is this smell? Ooh, that smell. Yeah, so this street, you can see the asphalt's kind of new. It was a real bad street, paving-wise. If you go up here on the railroads, there's a whole bunch of people living up there. Oh, VCR tapes. The Watcher and Baby Boy. Oh, this is at the very end of the VCR era. Now you see that there's trash and litter. Let me put this here. So what this looks like is an apartment eviction, and what they do is they come by here. Get yourself the KC and JoJo CD, and what they'll do is the people who got evicted, they'll just dump all their shit here. And all their stuff, their entire life from the apartment that they were evicted in, it's all right here. All their clothes, their albums. Oh, get away from there, Rick the puppy. That is infested with bed bugs. Uh-oh. Gotta be careful around here. Never I used to work at a self-storage place, and people would put their evicted, whenever you see, just stay away from that. Stay away from furniture in the ground. But people would what they would do is, if I would be the manager at the self-storage place, and landlords would rent the first month of a self-storage place for $1 and then never make another payment again. And then we would be responsible, us at the self-storage place, we would have to get rid of everything if it didn't sell at auction. And I don't think those people know it actually goes on your credit report. It could destroy your credit. And then some apartments, what they do is they have people I dropped the earpiece. Give me a second. They'll have their employees sign the lease. And when that lease come up here, and so what they'll do is they'll have employees who work for the apartment complex sign a lease, and then they'll sign the lease and then not pay the rent, and then it ruins their employees' credit, not the actual guy. And they're doing some construction here, renovating something, saving it. It's awesome. A lot of the buildings in this spot, this is like, we're in between Frankfort, Kensington, and Port Richmond, like in the middle of everything. And this building's getting saved, but there's another building down here getting knocked down. This building up here, I think they're renovating it a little bit, but some of the stuff's getting knocked down. I think the clock tower might be getting knocked down. There's no clock when it's time to fly. There's the big clock structure. It looks like there's new windows, so maybe that's not getting knocked down. My buddy Adam the Woo, he came to Philly a few times this year. One day he was hanging out with Dan Bell, and him and Dan Bell drove past this clock tower, and I was like, oh, you can't be there, Adam the Woo. Get the hell out of here. Meanwhile, I'm walking my dog around here. So we're I would say this is Frankfort. We're close to Kensington. I would say maybe Harrogate too is a neighborhood. That's a name. That building over there, that used to be a police station for a little bit. There was some type of police station thing. I remember when I was in the 4th grade. Hey, when I was in the 4th grade, I was a crossing guard. I was the captain of the crossing guards. It's one of the reasons why I call myself the captain. And there was a guy, I remember this guy tried to kidnap a kid on my corner. And I chased the guy away. We had to go do a police report here. It was like the sex crimes department or something. I don't know. It was weird. I remember we had to go in there and we had to give an interview to the cops. And I am still friendly, not with the kid. Not with the kid who got stopped. The kid who... let me tell the story properly. Give me a second. It's Philadelphia Unedited. Can't come back and fix this. The kid I saved, I was in the 4th grade, and the kid I saved, because I'm a hero, did I mention that? He was in the 2nd grade, and he was the younger brother of my friend Dorothea, who I went to grade school with. And I'm still friends with Dorothea, and we all had to go to this place and do an interview to the police. And I saw her at a grade school reunion a few years ago, and she had no recollection whatsoever of that happening. And I was like, well, that's kind of crazy. The things that you remember and you don't remember, you would figure most people would remember being interrogated by the police after a just weird. So we're on Castor Ave. And would I play the music here? Not yet, not yet. Maybe a little. No, stop it, not yet. Too early, too early. We are now on Jasper Street. It's crazy. I have to kind of stop videotaping for a bit because people are just blasting music. It is in the middle of the afternoon, and this is prime barbecue time. A lot of places, the backyards aren't that big out here, so what people do is they'll bring their grills, even their pools, and they'll set up outside their front of their house, and they'll have like a barbecue all day. Yeah. Does anybody know what kind of trees these are? Let me know. What kind of tree is this? Because that is the tree of Kensington. My grandmother lived on Willard Street when I was growing up. It's that way. And around the block from Willard Street was Hilton Street. And they had the entire neighborhood was covered in those trees, like the entire street, which is crazy because there's not one tree in my neighborhood. But Kensington had a lot of trees. I saw a fascinating article. I saw a YouTube video, let's be honest, talking about why people have allergies so bad in the United States. And the reason why is all the trees that are planted, they're all male trees. Something like that. And because they were all male trees, they didn't have female trees to, I don't know, get pregnant. I don't know how tree sex works. But yeah, that's why people have such bad allergies in the United States. I hope that makes sense. See, this is why I sometimes have to edit the videos, because I go back and I hear myself explaining something. I'm like, you gotta tell that story properly. Well, listen, while you're here, can you do me a favor? Please hit the like button and please subscribe. I'm not sure exactly where we're going. Just so you know, everywhere I'm at, even though this is Kensington, you know, people live here. It's not just the people doing drugs passed out in the streets. It is a neighborhood. It is a community where people live. All right, so we're at Jasper. Yeah, we're coming up to Tioga. Something they do in Kensington, especially around, well, actually, they do it all throughout the neighborhood, is they do this thing called Savesies, where they put out parking cones in a vacant space. So that way, like, if you go down the corner here, there's, you see the parking cone. What this guy does is when he'll leave, he'll put that cone in front of his parking spot. And you're not really supposed to do it. People do it mostly during snowstorms. That's when people do it all over the city. But sometimes people just do it. Kensington, they just do it a lot. Somebody in the neighborhood was telling me, like, listen, what am I going to do? If you park your car here, you're in front of your house. And I guess you want to keep your car in front of your house because of all the bullshit you got to deal with when you live in Kensington. People breaking into your cars, people stealing your Cadillac converters, all those things. So you feel safer with your car in front of your house. That's why they do savesies. I get it. Oh, should we be playing the music now? Oh, now I have to edit it in just for the music part. Or no, maybe not. Maybe what I'll do is, there we go. Now we play the music. It's Sunday afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon to be exact. And this is Kensington Ave is right there. This is Tioga Street. That's the Tioga L stop. Beautiful Sunday morning or afternoon in the park. For it being summer, it's not that hot. Uh-oh, Rick the puppy. He hates squirrels. We got one guy sleeping in the park. You know, some people sleep in parks. I couldn't sleep in public parks, especially not in Kensington. But I saw a video. I saw this great article on YouTube, and there was a guy who, there was a trial, right? And there was a trial going around. There was some guy going around some city. It wasn't Philadelphia. And he was going around and he was just bashing homeless people's skulls in with a hammer, right? And then, so what they did is they set up a decoy, right? They set up a decoy. They put they had a tent. They put like a homeless guy in the tent, but it wasn't a homeless guy. It was a dummy, like a mannequin, like the movie Mannequin. Yeah, no shade on this playground whatsoever. Whew. And then the guy, of course, the guy couldn't resist bashing in the homeless person's skull. So he picked up a hammer and hammered the mannequin's head, and they arrested him. And then the cops had to let him go because he got arrested for destruction of property. But since he didn't really kill anybody, there's no proof that he's the guy just because he killed one mannequin. Isn't that some crazy shit? You better have a cop on that guy 24/7. You better not just... So if you saw my last video in Port Richmond, my last unedited video, I talked about how they have these rain runoff spots all over the city. Here's one. Kind of can't even tell. It just looks like a park, but yeah, water goes in there. All right, so now this is Kensington Ave, and it gets kind of... Tell you what, the neighborhood looks pretty clean. So this is Harrogate Park. That's the official name. They got something going on almost every day. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Don't come here on Wednesday, but any other day. This is a little historic store. This is the first Richmond's ice cream shop, and they're owned by Richmond's Ice Cream is owned by Philadelphia Water Ice, and they have a thing called the Kenzo Dip. $1 hot dog, $1 water ice, $1 pretzel, just for the weekend. That's a pretty good deal. You gotta be, hold on. Oh, I'm good, thank you. I don't know. I have a thing. I don't buy stuff off people down here. Yeah, I've had a few people reach out to me and ask me to like take them around here and show them around Kensington, and yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I couldn't guarantee anyone's safety. I can't guarantee my safety every time. I've had stuff happen to me, people throwing stuff at me. I've almost been robbed a few times, but the one rule I have is you just never talk to anybody. So if somebody tries to stop you and talk to you, you just keep going. Not down here to make friends. Right? This guy, I don't know what he's doing. So this is like a neighborhood park. There was like a homeless encampment in here 2 years ago in front of this fence, and then people, the city came. You can look it up. It's one of my more popular videos, but yeah. You kind of gotta keep an eye out on things. A lot of people have open wounds. They do this tranquilizer stuff, this fentanyl stuff, that's eating away at their flesh. Fuck. Let's get the fuck out of here. Ooh, come on, Rick the puppy. Oh, man. This is Kensington and Allegheny. This was a Walgreens. Fuck. And this Walgreens just shut down a few weeks ago. This is Kensington and Allegheny. This looks like they have a block party going on.
I met Pastor Lou, 1997. Right after I had wound up doing 9 to 18 months in the county. I was going through a lot of stuff. I was a born again believer. I was on fire for the Lord. But there was something in my life that wasn't quite right. On March 1st, 1995, I shot at 2 individuals, killing one and injuring the other. After the crime took place, I got away. And my life began to spiral out of control. I was lost. I was popping Xanax like there was Skittles. I was smoking weed, PCP, and drinking a beverage called Cisco. I never knew that once I met Jesus, he would transform my life from the inside out. I began to possess peace for my first time in my life, and he started to walk with me. He started to talk to me. But the things that he was telling me to do, I couldn't even imagine. I was in prison doing a sentence of 9 to 18 months. And you believe the Lord puts it in my heart.
They're praying over someone over there. This happens a lot down here. There'll be like a section where a church organization takes over a few blocks and they'll pray over people. It's a very...
It was a cold case. But God knew.
I think it's a good thing. It gives some people hope. Some people need to hear this message who are down here. And you get one person off the streets, you sobered them up.
Busted, disgusted, couldn't be trusted. I was thinking I had everything under control. I had money, I had girls, I had clothing, I had everything you could possess, but I didn't possess peace. My mind was lost. I was in a state of confusion. I was living right. I was coming and going, and I was all good. But then when I came out in 1997, I did them 9 months, and I accepted Jesus Christ as Lord, and he changed my life from the inside out, and I began to walk with him and talk with him, and he changed me. I mean, he really put a change in my heart that I never was the same. I met this man. Praise God. Hallelujah. I started attending the Bethel Temple, and God started doing something in my life, and I felt as though I needed to bring closure to the family. I confessed to the pastor.
Yeah, so like it's still the church service is going on here. There's still, there's still misery and everything of lockdown, but at least somebody, one person's going to hear something today. Really, it's going to be.
Reminded me of what I should do. He never asked me. He never told me that I know.
Yeah, we get it. I come down here a lot, and when you see people down here, they're at the worst shape of their life. And I never see anybody have hope in their eyes. Never. Never. Everybody's just the worst of everybody down here. But every so often, I catch a preacher saying mass or doing something down here for the community. Every so often, you see a person who's been a drug... Oh, hello, friend. Every so often, you hear a person who's addicted to drugs talk to a preacher, and you just see a switch hit their brain, and it's something they need to hear, and then their eyes just clear up. It's really it's one of the most incredible things I've seen. So a lot of people get upset when people come down here and preach religion. I'd rather have people down here preaching religion than not doing anything at all, because at least they're doing something. And some of the people, the crazy thing is, a lot of the people who do the saving, they don't even want the people to get sober. They just want them to accept Jesus so they can go to heaven. It's not even a sobriety. They would love for them to get sober, but they just want them to accept Jesus before they die. That's why they sit there with the coffins. It's a scare tactic. Now, for a long time, this area, there'll be encampments. People will set up tents, live here. And then there's a video I had where I got into an argument with a few cops. Not an argument, but I was just saying, like, we had a bunch of cops sitting here protecting this abandoned H&R block, but there was like 40 people shooting up drugs at the exit of the train station there. That's what that is, by the way. That's our train. You could take that train and go to Center City, Philadelphia. It's called the L. And, but kids go to school right down the street here. Kids go to school on Frankfurt Ave. There's a daycare. I saw a person die in front of that daycare. And, let's go this way. I will say this is like the cleanest, even though, you know, there's a pile of trash there and it's messy, but I really haven't seen many needles, which could be a problem down here. I know every time I walk Rick down here, I always get, oh, you should be wearing booties down there. He's fine. You watch where you're stepping. Like, you kind of, I learned that from riding my scooter. I'm always kind of looking down ahead the next 20 feet, because if I walk on uneven ground, I could fall.
All right, Jeff, you don't have to.
So I'm always paying attention, especially down here. There's a lot of caps. I'm noticing a lot of caps, but no needles. All right, this is Allegheny and Emerald. What do you think, Rick? The puppy, pretty good walk, right? Beware a dog. Just so you know, don't ever put one of those signs up. I saw a fantastic article on TikTok, and the guy said if you have a beware of dog sign, it just admits that your dog's nuts. Yeah, so across the street over there, that big building, that's Mastbaum High School. This is supposed to be a quick walk, Rick. This used to be a gun store. Now it's a mural. And this mural's going away. Yeah. I don't know. So I saw a house about 4 blocks this way, about a year ago, less than a year ago. A house kind of like this, kind of falling apart inside, going for about $80,000. Also, if you go down 2 miles that way, maybe not even 2 miles, houses are going for $300,000. So. No Kensington chickens. There are. This is the, you see that little, like, that's like a tribute to somebody who died. So that's like a roadside memorial. There's another one right there on the corner. And I think there's another one up a block a bit. So, people are, it's not the safest of areas. So I would, here's the post office. No fucking way I'm going to this post office. One day, I have a Patreon, and one of the tiers, or 2 of the tiers of my Patreon is you get postcards. I fill out postcards and I mail them to you, right? So it's postcard stamps are cheaper than regular stamps, so I just buy postcard stamps from the post office. The post office in Bridesburg, for some reason, they never had postcard stamps. I throw a temper tantrum every 2 weeks because of postcard stamps. They never have them. They figured just to shut me up, they would get them. Or maybe they like watching me lose my mind. Who knows? But one time they said, yeah, you go to the post office in Frankfurt. I said, the one on Allegheny Ave? One off of Allegheny Ave? Yeah, it's all right. Kiss my ass. Well, that's good. Rick, we got our steps in today, right? So I appreciate you watching this video. Speaking of Patreon, I have a Patreon. If you sign up for $5 or $10 a month, I mail you a postcard. You get bonus previews, early previews and bonus videos. Mostly bonus videos this month. You know what? There's a lot of conversations we have in the pandemic crew that aren't exactly politically correct. And you guys get a lot of those conversations. There was some bonus content with Luke. And I think there was even a thing when I went with Adam the Woo to eat the cheesesteaks. I didn't really use a lot of my footage because Adam filmed the same thing. So there's a more of the unedited cheesesteak with Adam the Woo. So that's all on the Patreon. You like my live streams, I go live every so often. I'll be going live today. It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. So we got to go to church in the basement in Bridesburg. And that's where I go live every Sunday. And well, not every Sunday. I try to have a cup of coffee when I can. We talk about what's going on in the city and what's coming up on the channel. If you want access to all my live streams, just click the join button. It's $1.99. Easy way to help out the channel. And what else do we got, Rick? Oh, we got t-shirts. Get yourself a Rick the Puppy t-shirt. You know, I never really walk Stewie the Chihuahua, but the kids do. You know what my kids say? My kid go, oh, Rick's too big to walk. So I was like, all right. So then I gotta walk him. And then Stewie gets all these little dinky walks around the block. I have a one-eyed Chihuahua. Him and Rick got into a little argument one day. So I can tell you, Rick is tired because he's not walking with me. He's walking with me, not in front of me. It's a little hot. I got 2 bottles of water in the car, in my backpack. I use my backpack to hold up my camera. I think this is enough. Frankfurt and Westmoreland. Where the hell did we park at? Well, maybe we could do a bonus video for Patreon. Walking to the car on Aramingo Ave. I think that might be the plan, Rick the Puppy. We're going to end it here. Well, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And I'll sail with you later. Let me know if you're enjoying these unedited vlogs. Let me know. They seem to be doing well. So that was Philadelphia, unedited. Port Richmond, Kensington, Frankfurt, Harrogate. It's one of those neighborhoods. Toodles.